1 minute to the top of the hour East African time. You're just in time for the latest in the world of news here on TV47 News Now, where we are going to place you ahead of the curve with the latest happenings within the country and beyond. You can always interact with us with the social media handles that is at the bottom of your screen, and also with my direct handles that is at Moige William across all social media platforms. A lot has been lined up for you this particular afternoon. My name is Moige William. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, top on our focus this afternoon, President William Ruto with a host of other Kenya Kwanza leaders are attending a church service in Ukunda, Kwale County, as Ruto's regional tour in the Coast region enters day 4. President Ruto has been in the region for the better part of the week, inspecting and launching projects in the area. Let's cross over live to Kwale County.
Kuonyesha wazi, kuashiria wazi kwamba si mazungumzo ya watu wawili ambayo itashukisha gharama ya bei. There is only one way. Kuna njia moja peke yake ya kushukisha gharama ya maisha nchini Kenya. Ni kumpatia nafasi rais wetu atekeleze ruwaza yake, his manifesto. Akitekeleza vilivyo, hali ya gharama ya maisha itashuka. Na kwa sababu anajua hilo litafanyika, hampatii nafasi atekeleze ruwaza yake. Miezi 8-9 imeenda, rais hajapatiwa nafasi ya kutekeleza ruwaza yake. Kila siku maandamano. Haiwezekani kwamba saa zote unateta unataka chakula, na yule mpishi akileta unga unapiga teke unamweka. Utakula lini? You cannot build this economy by destroying the very things that are supposed to build this economy. Na nataka nije kwa ndugu zangu wa pwani hapa, viongozi wa siasa wenzangu wa pwani. Ameduchenda manambacho ni tembe. Manambaze beni hucho ni tembe apwani. Sisi tunajua wazi kwamba uti wa mgongo wa uchumi wa pwani.
All right, speaking there is Amason Kingi, Speaker of the Senate, where we are expecting President Ruto also to address congregants there in Kwale, but more details in our subsequent bulletins, that is at 7 and 9 p.m. Now, let us move on. Kajiado leaders have urged leaders from other parts of the country to stop politics and work for the people, since that is what they were voted in for. Led by Kajiado Deputy Governor Martin Mosisho, the leaders have asked the Azimio la Umoja leaders to call off protest in future and give time to the present government to deliver to the people.
Tunawaahidi wana Kajiado na Wakenya kwamba watarajie kazi muhimu ambayo itafanywa katika nchi yetu. Tunajua mabishano mengi ambayo yanaendelea sasa katika nchi yetu, na ningependa kusema kwamba tupe serikali nafasi, serikali kuu na serikali ya kaunti, tutulie, tuache mambo ya kuandamana na kuharibu mali na kuharibu maisha ya watu.
Ningependa tu kuwauliza viongozi wote, kwanza wapate umoja, kwa sababu watu wakipitana wale wataumia ni wale waliwachagua. Wakiungana pamoja wataweza kufanyia wananchi kazi, na hiyo ndio ombi langu.
Civil society organizations in Vihiga County are now blaming the legislator for failing to represent Kenyans' interest, stating that this is what has led to the economic unrest being witnessed in the country. Speaking in Manyata area in Vihiga County, leaders drawn from the organizations led by Tom Onzere have called on the Kenya Kwanza administration to give a listening ear to Kenyans who they say continue to bear the weight of economic stalemate. The leaders have also defended Kenyans' right to protest, emphasizing the need for freedom of speech, which is every Kenyan's right.
Ukienda bungeni, wabunge wanatoa sauti nyingine yenye iko kinyume na wananchi. Sasa hapo ndio kizungumkuti, kwa sababu wananchi wanaona bunge haitoi sauti yao kikamilifu. Na hiyo ndio shida tuko nayo. Sisi kama wananchi tunataka tu tusikizwe. Administration ya Kenya Kwanza isikie sauti yetu na itujibu. Ndio sababu mamlaka tumepatia wabunge, lakini kama wabunge hawatekelezi vile tunataka, itabidi sisi wananchi turudishe hiyo mamlaka sisi kwetu na tutoe sauti yetu vile tunafanya.
Tunajua ya kwamba sheria haitungwi nje ya bunge, lakini ikiwa watu wanaweza kaa nje ya bunge wajadiliane na halafu walete haya mazungumzo katika bunge, ndiposa yaweze kushirikishwa kiundani katika sheria zetu za Kenya, inakubalika. Hii bill ya finance ya mwaka wa 2023 imeweka vitu mingi ambazo zitaenda kufanya maisha ya mwananchi wa kawaida iendelee kuwa na ugumu. Na wananchi wako na haki ya kusema mnaendelea kututoza ushuru katika njia ambayo haistahili. Sisi tungependa kila kitu iweze kurudi chini.
Now let us shift focus. Former West Pokot County Assembly Speaker Catherine Mkeyang has raised concerns over high cases of school dropout among girls, which she said has led to early marriages and teenage pregnancy. Mkeyang called on West Pokot County Woman Representative Rael Kisiwai to move with speed and advocate for girl child education, which will prevent girls from dropping out of schools, adding that elected leaders in the county should work hard to curb the situation.
Elimu ya mtoto msichana katika kaunti ya Pokot, sub-county yetu ya North Pokot, wasichana wajesoma. Sub-county iliyo Baringo ambayo ni ya Pokot inaitwa Tiati, East Pokot sub-county, East na West. Sasa wasichana hawajapata kusoma. Najua kule juu Nairobi watu wanaongelea boy child, sawa wao, lakini kwetu bado tunaongelea mtoto msichana. Sababu changamoto za mtoto msichana bado ni nyingi: kuozwa mapema, majukumu za jamii, mambo ya kukeketwa. Mambo sasa imekuja ya pikipiki. Wale vijana wetu wamepata pikipiki, boda boda we call it. Wanachukua wale wasichana wako class 6, class 5, wanakimbizwa kwa malisho, sababu sisi ni pastoralist. Vijana wenye wako kwenye ufugaji wanakuja kuchukua watoto kutoka shule. Lakini napongeza pia chiefs, maana wamefanya kazi kiasi. So ombi langu tu ni kwamba wamama wapewe msaada.
Back to the coast region, the long-running tussle between the national and the county government of Mombasa over the sharing of revenue from the port appears to have come to an end. This is after President William Ruto said the county government is entitled to a share of the revenue raised from the port. Speaking during a stakeholders meeting at the port of Mombasa, the president further instructed the Transport Ministry and the Kenya Port Authority, that is KPA, to cooperate with the county so as to operationalize the idea through legislation.
The Port of Mombasa, we must work closely with the county government of Mombasa. Yeah? Abdul Samad here has been on my case on how we can create a bridge between the port and the county government of Mombasa, and I agree that there should be a bridge so that the people of Mombasa, apart from what we are doing around port operations and serving the greater population of Mombasa with the services of this port, that the county government of Mombasa will also be part of, and I have discussed this with both the minister and the KPA to work together with the county government of Mombasa.
They will agree with me. And all you have to do, Your Excellency, you have the power to take a pen and just put your signature, revert back the law the way it was intended to be, so that the clearing and forwarding agencies do not have to start competing with multinational.
Elsewhere, private developers have expressed their worry over the actualization of affordable housing units due to the increase of prices for the construction materials as a result of the Finance Act 2023. The developers say that the prices of the materials have risen giving the developers a challenge to soldier on with their construction activities swiftly. Speaking during a handing over of newly constructed estate dubbed Ostrich Kimunyu along Kenyatta Road, George Mburu, CEO Mizizi Africa, urged the government to look for proper measures to regulate prices of construction materials, saying affordable housing project is a major employment to many youth, thus should be given the priority it deserves.
Tunajua pia bei ya material imekuwa ikienda juu, na tumekuwa tukiomba serikali iangalie, na tunaona mswada wa finance bill umekubalishwa, sasa umepitishwa, na tunatumai kwa hiyo kuna ile masuala ya cost ya material kupanda juu, na hasa simiti kuna ile inaitwa kinka, tunajua imekuwa ikifanya simiti ikue juu sana. Tunatumai serikali imeangalia kwa hiyo bill, na pia kumekuwa na cost ya chuma zimekuwa zikipanda. Tunaomba Mungu sasa zitashuka chini, ndiposa hata tukijenga cost of material ziko chini, tuweze kuwajengea watu affordable housing, na vijana wa hizi sehemu wapate kazi, so that tuendelee kujenga uchumi wa nchi yetu vile tu rais wetu President William Samoei Ruto anatuhimiza tujenge nchi yetu, na tukifanya hivyo pia tumweke Mungu mbele.
Away from that, now to matters education. Embu School Principals Association Chairperson Ben Jue has called upon the national government to consider increasing the school capitation fund issued to schools so as to cushion the institutions from the high cost of living witnessed in the country. Speaking while receiving bursary funds donated by Kagari South Ward Member of County Assembly, Njue has noted that some schools will be forced to close earlier for their second term break because they are getting it hard to afford basic food commodities to sustain learners in school.
With the hard economic times, things are difficult, even for schools. We had gotten to a time where we were feeling like we might even close schools before time because of the hard economic times. The prices of the commodities has gone up. The prices of most of the things is up. So what we would like to urge is even not only for the county government and the bursary and the bursary from the MP, but also the national government to ensure that at least even the capitation that they give to our students is increased, so that we can shield and ensure that the hard economic times and the prices of commodities, we are shielded from the same, because we are buying things close to twice the original budget that we had done, and it's becoming a challenge to us. Actually, we are actually caught up, and we are not very sure of what will happen, because at the end of the day, we will be expecting to survive. We had budgeted for maize, for example, at around 3,000 per bag. Now it's beyond 6. We had budgeted for beans at around 5,000. Today is going for more than 11,000. That is twice the original budget, and yet we have to shield the same. It's becoming difficult, and therefore we are asking that help to the parents be increased, not only by the county government or the bursary, but also by the national government.
Now back to the country's capital. An elderly woman in Ruai in Nairobi County is crying for justice for her son who had been shot and her farm later invaded and maize stolen. The 85-year-old Margaret Mbugua is seeking justice after the shooting of her son, and now she fears losing her land that has been invaded with the unknown people who made away with her and produce. She is asking the government authorities to intervene and address her woes.
Walikuja wawili wakapiga mtoto wangu pisto, kiswa na kigo. Kutoka hiyo siku hiyo na 3 months, 3 good months, hakuna kumpeleka kwa koti. Mama nakoja nini? Nauliza Uhuru na Ruto masaidie wa mama wale wanaseeka. Nikikuja nikakuta saa hii ule Mwangi anaweka bikabubiri ya bebe, akasukua akaja nao nyumbani jana na today. Ruto, Uhuru, wase watafanya nini Embakasi?
Now let us turn our focus to the northeastern region, whereby residents of Diso 2, Ramey, Shahio and Libale sub-counties in Garissa County are up in arms against companies mining gypsum in the area, saying that cases of environmental degradation that causes hazardous dust from the mining sites has left several people with chest complications. The residents said their efforts to have the companies suspended their activities in the area due to several concerns raised have not bore any fruit, adding that quarries are posing danger to both human and their livestock. However, Iftini Ward, a member of County Assembly Mustafa Abdirashid, while acknowledging the environmental degradation that has been caused by miners by the quarries, was quick to add that they were engaging those involved in orders to iron out the issues.
Wanatusumbua sana watu ya gypsum. Kila mtu ameingishwa tarakta, na hiyo tarakta sisi ni mafugaji. Mafugaji hawa anapata shida. Angamia anaanguka haionekani, mbuzi anaingia. Sasa hata
Apologies for that. Elsewhere, Wajir North Member of Parliament Ibrahim Sanei wants the Inspector General of Police Japheth Koome to tour the northern part of Kenya and witness firsthand the deplorable state in which police officers are living. Speaking when he visited Buna Police Division, where a police station project has stalled for over 11 years, Sanei said the officers stood the risk of being overrun by the Al-Shabaab and wild animals, as most of the stations remain incomplete. Consequently, the MP has called on the leadership of the country to come together to spur growth in the region and by a bigger percentage reduce incidents conflict that has largely affected the border between Wajir North and Eldas.
This project was initiated by the then Commissioner of Police, Ali, Commissioner Major General Ali, and the former Minister, the late Professor George Saitoti. Since 2012, this project has stalled. This is why President William Samoei Ruto is of the wisdom that projects that are ongoing, projects that are incomplete, be completed, and then we go for new projects. This haphazard budgeting, the indiscipline in not implementing the budget as is passed by Parliament, is what has caused this problem. A white elephant, home to animals, this compound lacks the fence, police themselves, the source of security for the public, are insecure. I want to make a passionate request to IG Koome to come to Buna and see it for himself and at least help us complete this project. In the same breath, we have been to Buna yesterday, to Malkagufu. The Malkagufu houses for the police is equally incomplete. It's a giant project. It was well initiated, but it is incomplete, and it is to house nearly 70 police officers. The General Duty Police and the RDU, who are 40, are in a private house. I'm in pain to pay for the rent. CDF is to pay for the rent of keeping police officers in private houses. You can imagine, that is the Kenya we are in, at the border of the country, where police are in private houses and CDF is used to pay rent.
Quite some concerns there. Now, moving on, Fusion Estates, a subsidiary of Fusion Capital Limited, has launched its second project known as Zahara Gardens, which is a controlled gated community residential project in Nashu area of Kikuyu in Kiambu County. Fusion Estates' target market for Zahara Gardens includes the local professionals seeking to invest in developable land, business people, and those living in diaspora seeking to acquire well-priced and master-planned land for immediate development. The primary target for Zahara Garden is the local market, but the diaspora market is expected to participate as their first project sold 40% to clients in the diaspora. The CEO of Fusion Group, Daniel Kamau, highlighted that home ownership in Kenya remains a journey for a majority of Kenyans where they buy land, then develop over time.
in the process of investing, there are various steps that are required. One of the first steps is to do the due diligence, and we are confirming that we've already done the due diligence. We've also looked at the potential of the investment, and this looking at land as an investment class. We are sure and we are confident that in the next 3 years' time, the price will have grown from not just 950 to at least double.
One of the key things that sets Fusion apart is that we've been in this market now for 17 years, doing real estate investing. So, you know, we're not just, we haven't just turned up and put up a billboard and started handing out flyers. You know, we're a real team with a good track record. You know, you can go and see buildings we've built. You can see other land projects we've owned. I think that's what really sets us aside is you know, we want this company to be around for 50 years. We don't want it to be you know, we don't just want to land here, make some money and leave. You know, we're here to stay.
So for me, coming here to Zahara Gardens, I'm impressed actually with the well-graded land. I'm impressed. This is like a home away from home.
Moving on, Machakos Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi has called on the church to intervene and bring the government and the opposition to a lasting solution in order to curb the political temperatures in the country. Presiding over a function in Muusini, a Salvation Army in Mwala Sub-County, the Deputy Governor said that Kenyans could not afford more unrest, adding that the protest has claimed lives and destruction of property. However, Mwangangi said that if demonstrations should be conducted, it should be orderly and peaceful, devoid of attracting violence at the expense of the country's peace and stability.
Mimi sijapiga maandamano, lakini ningeomba sana, kwa sababu sasa upande wa serikali umeongea, upande wa huu mwingine umeongea. Sasa ni wakati wa kanisa kuokoa hawa wananchi. Ni vizuri na viongozi wetu wasikize na wasikize kanisa inasema nini. Tumeona wengine wameingilia, kuna dalili za watu kuzungumza. Ni vizuri watu wazungumze, ndio applying to the neighboring country. Watoto wetu wanakosa ajira, wanakosa kazi ya kufanya, kwa sababu hiyo inapelekwa mataifa jirani. Kenya for a long time tumejulikana kama watu wa amani, lakini saa hii yale mambo yanaendelea si sawa sawa. Tutaki watu wajigonge vifua ya kwamba tuko na hii na ile. Hapana, tunyenyekee, turudi kanisani, tupige magoti, ndio tuongoze watu wa Mungu. Please, ikiwa mtoto yako hayuko shuleni, hayuko nyumbani,